Hi guys, Marcia here with KGB Style. Let's make a quick and easy wrap style halter dress. This is an old Jiffy pattern, but you can find it at simplicity.com, pattern number 9793. So grab your favorite knit fabric and materials and let's get to it. Before we get started, don't forget to refer to your pattern instructions for any sizing, pattern layouts, and pattern markings. Hey guys, I went ahead and I sewed together my bodice back at the seam. You should have 4 of these pieces. I cut 2 out of the main stretch fabric, and then I did the lining in a power mesh. You can also cut this out in 4 out of the main fabric, but that's what you gonna do first. Go ahead and press that seam out. Okay, so next we're gonna take our front, which is piece A, and we are going to stitch the front and the back at the side seam. So let's go ahead and find that side seam. I believe that's it. Yeah, that's the side seam, and I'm going to do that with my lining as well as my main fabric. We're going to pin those together and then we will stitch it. Make sure you put right sides together, matching up those notches. Okay, so we want to make sure when we go ahead and stitch this that we stitch it to the dot here and leave an opening and stitch right there under the dot to the bottom of the hem, because we want to leave an opening up for our ties or wraps. Alright, so we're stitching the back and the front bodice together, leaving that side seam on the right open. Go ahead and back stitch and stop at the first dot, back stitch again, and then go ahead and pick it up at the next dot. Okay, so I already went ahead and I pressed out my seams. Now we're going to turn the main bodice face up, and I went ahead and did my lining or my power mesh, whatever you are doing your facing out of. I did it the same way that I did my main fabric. So we're going to put right sides together and go ahead and attach the lining or the facing to the main part by matching up the notches, the raw edges, and most importantly the seams. Go ahead and clip it together or pin it together. And we're only doing the unnotched edges. We're going to leave the bottom unclipped, and we're going to leave this edge here on the sides where we're going to do our pleats unclipped also. Let's go ahead and fold that hem over for the lining only. Okay, so once you have your facing or lining attached to your main bodice, I went ahead and trimmed and clipped the seams. We're going to go ahead and turn it right side out. All right, go ahead and take it for a press, and then I'm going to baste the raw edges together after I press it. Okay, so our bodice is pressed and the bottom edge is basted. Go ahead and finish off your right side opening here. You can slip stitch it, or I top stitched mine close to the seams, making sure those two seams are pressed together. And now we're going to get ready to do our tucks on the outside here. Okay, so your two upper tucks, I've already done this side, so your two upper tucks are gonna fold down. And I'm just going to pin it, and then after we finish them, we'll take them to the iron and press it. And your two lower tucks are going to fold up. And just go ahead and pin them in place. So now that we have our tucks in, go ahead and take it to your pressing board and press those tucks flat. Okay, so now that you have basted your tucks together, I went ahead and I clipped away 5/8 in the corner of the tuck, right at the dot, right under that dot. Go ahead and clip that away. And now we're going to take our neck, and with right sides together, we are going to pin the main fabric of our neck. Let's go ahead and actually, I think I'll pin this together since it's so small there. We're going to pin it together, and then we'll take it to the machine and stitch it. Okay, so make sure you don't get your lining or facing caught in there when you stitch. We're going to stitch from the edge of the stitching 5/8 across to the other edge of the stitching. So once you finish stitching the neck together, it should look like this, and we'll have to stitch, slip stitch or hand stitch the inside of the lining together. We're going to move this aside, and we're going to grab our tie ends, which is piece C, and we're going to go ahead and make our ties. So with long sides folding over, right sides together, we're going to fold the lengthwise on the fabric all the way down. And when we take it to the machine, I'm going to go ahead and pin it, but when we take it to the machine, the straight edge will remain open, no stitches, and this slanted edge here will get stitched just like this. Okay, so once you finish stitching your ties, go ahead and trim them, turn them inside out, and give them a press. We're going to put these aside, and we're going to grab our front and back skirt, and we are going to stitch the back seam. So our back seam should have the 2 notches. We're going to put right sides together. And stitch together our front and back skirt. Go ahead and pin that first, pin or clip it first, and then we'll take it to the machine and do a straight stitch. So once you're finished stitching your front and back skirt together, go ahead and press your seam down. We're going to set the skirt aside for a moment, and go ahead and grab your ties and your bodice. We're going to attach the ties to the tucked in. You should have tucked the ends, the open end of your tie down and pressed it. And we are going to take the tucked in of your bodice, and we're going to slip it inside of the opening of the tie. Alrighty, nice and neat. Make sure it's tucked in there, and go ahead and pin it. Pin it closed. Make sure your basting is covered up on the front and the back. Everything is tucked in. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it to the machine, and we're going to stitch an edge stitch close to the edge of that fold there. go ahead and do that now. Now we have our bodice completed, and we are going to grab our skirt. Let's get this straight. All right, so now that we have our bodice completed, we're going to grab our skirt, and with the right sides together, let's get the top of our skirt here. And let's go ahead and match up that back seam, the notches in that back seam. All right, so here's the back of my skirt, and there should be notches back here. And there's also notches right here at the back of your bodice. So let's go ahead and match up that back seam. And we're going to pin it together, your bodice and your skirt with the right sides together, matching up those raw edges, notches, and dots. Okay, so once you stitch your skirt to your bodice, you can also take stay tape or either clear elastic, and you can stitch it to the seam here. I'm just going to trim my seam because my knit fabric is stable enough that it won't stretch out, so I'm not too worried about it stretching out. And now you can just press that seam down. Next, you're going to go to your skirt front, and you can finish this off with an elastic lace or a binding, and you're going to turn it under and slip stitch it, or you can leave it pinked with pinking shears as I have, and I'm just going to press it over, and I will slip stitch it. Since I used the pinking shears on it, this shouldn't fray, and plus it's a knit fabric. Voila, you are done. Go ahead and style it as you would like, and if you want to hem it, you can, or because it's knit, you can leave the edges as they are. We've completed this weekend's quickie, Sewing Pattern Simplicity 9793. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And for more styling and sewing tips, follow me on Instagram at KichiBStyle. Peace.